Bill, you might try to get the three of us and then just come over and join us. If you can. Ed's going to move in closer to me. A very close friend of mine has said, words play an important part in our life, and they're used to express our aspirations and our anxieties. Particularly at Christmas time, the words struggle to express what is deep within us, and at the same time words from the outside crowd in on us. Words come and go and return again, and others never leave us. Words that come from the future like death, love, hope, and peace shove us into tomorrow. Words of the past from ancient poets conjure up images like Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Prince of Peace, Spirit of Wisdom and Understanding. Now we would like to add a few of our words from the outside, from Skylab 3. Okay, now, Bill, just put it in on me. You know, our Earth seems large to us as we look down on it, yet those men who have flown Apollo to the moon say it's small. And as we see it, there are vast areas of desolation and great masses of water, with man crowded only into the more temperate or hospitable zones of the Earth. Yet the men from Apollo perceive the Earth as a tiny blue island in the vast sea of space. Well, either way you look at it, the observation is humbling, because the tenuousness of our existence is emphasized by the need for man to get into harmony with his environment and with his fellow man. Among Christians, the Christmas season serves to heighten our awareness of others and the brotherhood of man. And whether we're Christians, or Jews, or Mohammedans, or Buddhists, or Confucianists, or atheists, and no matter what the season is, or isn't, I think we all agree that one of man's principal goals for the future should be to learn to live in peace and harmony with one another. So to that end, I wish for all the world a most fruitful and peaceful day, and for all our friends and my wife Joanne, and our family, Jennifer, Jamie, Jeffrey, John, and Jessica, and Joshua, I send my love and my wish for a joyous Christmas. I too would like to give you some of my impressions, which I acquired over the past 40 days. In a sense, they're similar to what Jerry said, but in another sense, I think quite a bit different. I think they're relatively simple, but for me, fairly strong. I think they involve two Christmas gifts, which are very important ones. Those of understanding and of cooperation. As we look down at the earth below, as we have over the past 40 days, we look at the countries and the homelands of all the people around the world. One thing you don't see are any dividing lines. In some countries you see a lot of water between them, but just simply water. Sometimes you see lines, but they're only lines on a map. So the countries and the people really have no natural barriers. Now also, to me, the world's become quite a bit smaller. We circle it 15 times a day. And at the same time, we look out at the world of comets, stars, planets, the sun, that whole world which we've just started to explore, and our own Earth seems quite small. So in no way could we on Earth, or any group of people, or any country, consider themselves isolated. Let's face it, we're really all in this together. We have lots of problems which we're all considering now. they're common problems. Problems of pollution, energy, inflation, just to name a few. I think if we all, the people in the world, take a step back and look at the world as we've been privileged to do over the past 40 days, we'll find that it looks smaller, and that what we must do is understand one another and cooperate. I think those would probably be the best Christmas gifts we could ever give to one another. And I'd like to wish Merry Christmas to all the people out there, and especially my family, my wife Julie, John, Janet, Julie, and Joe. Merry Christmas. And we'll see you next Christmas, for sure.
Merry Christmas from the pilot of Skylab 3. I was interested in Jerry's opening comments regarding words and the way words influence our lives. A spoken word, is essentially a concept that supposedly exists in the mind of the individual. Sometimes we may suspect it's a meaningless recitation of something the individual has heard before. Take, for instance, the phrase, Christmas is for children. I've often wanted to question people when they say that, because I don't know what they mean by children, because a child supposedly ceases to exist once the person becomes an adult. I think really what they mean is there are children of all ages and people who share certain common, basic, sort of fundamental attitudes toward life, a simple joy and wonder in living, and a basic appreciation of the relationships that exist between individuals is something that's very valuable, and that it is certainly important to pause and reflect upon the relationships that exist. Now, the attitudes that we have, the kindnesses that we express toward others, need to be exercised. I know that we spend a considerable portion of each day exercising our bodies. We're quite concerned about physical atrophy. Any educator can tell you that, of course, one should be concerned about mental stagnation as well. We should not only exercise our bodies, but we should exercise our minds. And I think that in addition to that, we need to exercise certain other noble virtues that the individual, the human, is capable of expressing and extending toward others. And that is exercising the virtues of the spirit, benevolence, kindness, brotherhood, sisterhood. That is basic kindnesses between people, and that we need to exercise these too, or we will experience some sort of spiritual oblivion too. And it's with this idea in mind that I would like to focus on, because I think it's this season of the year that we sort of pause and reflect and think that, yes, we too can extend to other people kindnesses, and we can extend to them brotherhood, consideration, yes, and even love, because I think it was during this period of time, approximately 2,000 years ago, that the theme was peace on earth and goodwill toward men. And this expressed the attitude of the hymn singers when they were reflecting upon the events that came to pass then. And from the Skylab 3 crew, we wish to extend to people around the world a message of peace, goodwill, and human understanding. may be of interest to some of you to describe the construction of the Christmas tree that we have here. The tree was constructed out of food cans. Our food is packaged in small tins that are placed in large what are called over cans, long cans, and there is a structure inside the can which is called a herringbone, which really serves as a container for the cans so that they can all be pulled out at once. And it was these herringbones, so to speak, that we used to construct the limbs and leaves of the tree. Now, the small decorations that we have were sort of gathered from here and there in the spacecraft. And, of course, we all shared in the construction of the Christmas tree. And, again, of course, there was the one final inspiration which rests on the top of the tree, and I'll let Dr. Ed Gibson explain that one.
Well, first thing you notice about this tree, as I imagine you've noticed about your trees at home, it has no lights. We're very energy conscious up here also. The piece on the top, I think, is fairly straightforward. It's what you normally put on top of a tree, a star, but we've kept up with the times we're living right now and made it fit the scene, the very day and the very week for us, and perhaps it is very old at the same time. People will be debating that one for a long time. But for us, it symbolizes Christmas. I think you guys are going to have to get taller. So from the crew of Skylab 3, we wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, and an extra special message to all the guys that are going to be away from their families tomorrow, working with us on our EVA in order to get some good photography of the comet Kohoutek. To all of you guys down there that will be working with us tomorrow and tonight, Christmas Eve, we thank you very much for your interest and your dedication, and to you we wish a very special season's greetings. So long.
And I wish to wish a Merry Christmas and extend my love to Helen, Bill, Lena, and Tommy. Merry Christmas to you all.
Friendly CDR. That's beautiful. Come over here, CDR. William, where are you going?
Well, I floated off, and now it's the easiest way to get back. What's that, sir?
Where away? You want to say a little something, or? I don't particularly feel any great. You just go ahead. Okay, William, you in here? We'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the thoughtful people back in Houston who were so worried that we would not have a Christmas tree. And as you see, sure enough, we got it. We've unwrapped it, and we appreciate your thoughts. We were a little stuck for a place to hang it, but we had this whole structure left over in the workshop here, which we really didn't know what to do with, and we thought the best thing we could do was to cover it up. So there's our Christmas tree. Thanks very much. We sure appreciate it.